Good evening to you all. Thank you for joining the webinar on the topic tourism overview in the perspective of India. This is Bhavish Joshi. I'm the academician of hospitality and tourism management subject. So let me discuss about the contents of webinar. So the contents are introduction, definition of tourism, form of tourism, types of tourism, different components of tourism, India as a tourist destinations, and we will also discuss about some of the architectures and monuments of India. So as introduction, so tourism is related to leisure, pleasure, recreation, holiday in which tourist is willing to go outside or arrives in some destination other than their normal place of residence or work for a short-term period, which could be few days to few weeks or a month. Tourism involve a temporary break from normal routine of things and travel away to participate in other kind of activities for experiences and learning purposes. Tourism definition as World Tourism Organization, tourism comprises the activities of persons traveling to and staying in places outside their usual environment for not more than one consecutive year for leisure, business, and other purposes. So we can define tourism as an activity by which one person go outside from their normal or usual environment for a leisure, for a business, or any kind of purposes, but which could be less than 1 year, not more than that. So forms of tourism as per United Nations World Tourism Organizations, tourism classify in three categories, which are as follows. First, inbound tourism refers to tourists of outside origin entering a particular country. When people travel outside their host native country to another country, then it is called inbound tourism for that country where she is traveling. Outbound tourism, this tourism refers to tourists traveling from the country of their origin to another country. When tourists travel a foreign region, then it is outbound tourism for his own country because she is going outside their country. So inbound and outbound is a kind of international tourism activity. So in inbound tourism happen when, like example, somewhere from Singapore comes to India, arrives in India, then it is inbound tourism for India, and also outbound tourism for Singapore. And this activity, when somebody from India goes to Singapore for any kind of purposes, then this is outbound tourism for India and inbound tourism for Singapore. Next is domestic tourism. The domestic tourism activity of people within their own country, known as domestic tourism. So in case of domestic tourism activity happen within the country, within the home country. So these does not require any kind of formal document, a lot of documents like passport, visa, so and numerous kind of foreign exchange. So domestic tourism generally, yes, there are some time, generally there are some kind of language issues was not there, which was present in international tourism. Different types of tourism. So first, cultural tourism. Cultural tourism covers all those aspects of travel where people travel to learn about each other, their beliefs, their thought, food, beverage, living, and their way of life. India is known for its cultural heritage. That's why tourists come to India to experience it by themselves. There are various fairs and festivals that tourists can visit in India are Pushkar Fair, Suraj Kund Mela, Ajanta Ellora caves, which are located in Aurangabad, Maharashtra, Mahabalipuram Temple, Tamil Nadu, Hampi, Karnataka, Hawa Mahal, Rajasthan. Adventure tourism. Adventure tourism is a package of education, recreation, thrill, adventure activities. It fascinates people who want to live in fast track life. These involve exploration of remote area and exotic locals and engaging in various activities. Various activities like rock climbing, paragliding, trekking are various kind of activities which are the part of adventure tourism. In India, normally Ladakh, Sikkim, and Himalaya region, especially Uttarakhand and and Himachal Pradesh, are providing providers of adventure tourism in India. So uh, in Rishikesh is famous for its trekking, where trekking and whereas Oli and Munsiari in Uttarakhand are popular places for skiing. Ecotourism. Ecotourism defined as nature-based tourism. Ecotourism include those tourism activity which conducted harmony in nature. many wildlife sanctuaries and national parks established to promote ecotourism and protect natural flora and fauna. Among all type of tourism in India, ecotourism have grown recently. Ecotourism is a kind of sustainable preservations of natural resources of for a region. So that's why this is a very important aspect of tourism. This is a very this is made a balance in ecological development. So as India having a lot of opportunity for ecotourism, we having a Kaziranga National Park in Assam, which is famous for its rhinoceros. Gir National Park in Gujarat and Kanha National Park, Madhya Pradesh is famous for its tigers. Medical tourism, there are a lot of tourists who require inexpensive medical treatment facility. Tourism from all over the world travel in India for a cost-effective treatment and superior quality of healthcare facilities. So there are a lot of the surgical procedure which we have established, which India have established, and a lot of medical institution and medical techniques like India having Ayurveda, homeopathic, acupressure, and yoga. These are some of the kind of medical treatment techniques. Incentive tourism, most of the companies offer holiday trips as an incentive to their employees who achieve the target or give great value to the company. So this tourism attracts a lot of employees, and they usually go to our destination and enjoy the incentives. Wildlife tourism, India has a rich cultural heritage along with its wildlife. There are many forests are available in India, in which there are a lot of species are available. So wildlife tourism is boosted in India. So there are a lot of places like Kevladev National Park, Rajasthan. Actually, this park is famous for its bird species. A lot of birds come in this national park. And Corbett National Park in Uttarakhand, it's a kind of tiger reserve. Business tourism is becoming increasing day by day, because the main component of business tourism is travel for business purpose. Actually, people usually travel within or overseas to attend conferences, conventions related to their business or professional interest. Religious tourism is also known as pilgrimage or spiritual tourism. Religious tourism is a journey undertaken for the worship or to pay respect to a deity, or they having a religious significance with a particular site. Like in India, tourism is associated with the places like for Hindu, Haridwar and Varanasi are auspicious. In Buddhism, Bodh, Gaya, Sarnath are holy. Jain prefer Mount Abu, Ranakpur. For Sikhs, Amritsar is the holiest place. Whether Christian like to visit in Vatican City, Jerusalem. Muslim prefer Makkah, Medina. For Javis, Jerusalem is the holiest city in the world. Special interest tourism. Special interest tourism can be defined as people travel to a particular destination with the purpose of fulfill a particular interest, which can be pursued only in the destination. So there are various examples for this kind of tourism, like education tourism. Education tourism happens to gain the education from a certain place with a certain university or colleges. And then dark tourism actually happen after the war like situation. So the area where war was happened, then to study about the kind of instruments used during the war, how many laws. So yeah, these are kind of dark tourism. And rural tourism, in which most of the people take interest to spend in time in rural areas and live life their life and enjoy the culture of that area. So these are different form of special interest tourism. So there are four components of tourism, which are transportation, accommodation, food and beverage, attractions. And attraction involve tourism destination, culture sites, sculpture, etc. So let's discuss about transportation. There are four kind of transportations. First, airways. People usually travel via helicopter, aircraft, private jets. Next, railways. People travel via train or rails. So roadways, rental car, public transports, cabs are offered offered it. In waterways, cruise liners, passenger ships, and houseful are perfect example for waterways. After transportation, accommodation play a vital role in the tourism. So there are a lot of the accommodation facilities available in India. So first are downtown hotel. Downtown hotel are those hotel which are located nearby the bus station or railway station. Means heart of the these are the heart of the city. So these are the downtown hotel are a kind of five-star hotel. So next, resorts. Resorts are hotels located at exotic locations or exotic places like in forest or hill stations. Restaurant. Convention centers are a kind of business hotels. They having a long convention halls which attract a lot of business clients and who want to conduct the business meeting seminar and also some kind of shows. So next, youth hostels provide perfect accommodation to students who don't have enough money but want a room and some meal facilities as well in at nominal rate. Next, guest houses. There are a lot of people who could not afford the hotel, so government has made guest houses for various purposes, which is much cheaper than the hotel. The people may use them and enjoy about all the services which provide in the hotel. Railway retiring room. This is provision of rooms provided by uh, railway station, railway authority. So they provide the rooms to all the guests who having their train. Next, dharmshalas, gurudwara. This is a kind of welfare accommodation. They provide accommodation on welfare basis. Normally people usually enjoy at free of cost, live free of cost, and in case they want to give some money to them, or pay as a service, or serve to them in exchange of services. Then food and beverage. There are a lot of lot of hotels which offer food and beverage, and restaurant are there are different kind of restaurant, hotels, food and beverage, nightclubs, banquet halls. Airline catering especially offered during the time and in the airline, in the flight. So there are some provision of meal was provided to all the guests. Industrial catering is a part of catering which take place in the industries, in the offices. There are a lot of mess was provided to the employees. Institutional catering take place in the schools and colleges. Food court and vendors also offer some sort of foods. And welfare catering is provided by some NGO, bhandaras, gurudwara, where people usually enjoy meal at free of cost. They don't have pay such kind of money. They having a fixed menu and people usually enjoy. This is on welfare basis. Attraction. So as a part of attraction, India having a rich in heritage sites, as we having a forts, palaces, temples, shrines. So destinations, Masuri, Nainital, Shimla are the major destination of India. So as per entertainment, there are a lot of the ways for entertainment like cinema hall, water park, clubs. Next, pilgrimage, religious places. There are a lot of religious places which are available in India. India as a tourist destinations. India is one of the oldest civilization in the world. India is mosaic of multicultural expanses with a rich cultural heritage and many attractions. The country is among the most popular tourist destination in the world. It covers an area of 32 lakh, it is 7,263 square kilometer, extending from the snow-covered Himalaya heights to the tropical rainforest of the south. As the seventh largest country in the world, in India having 22 separate official language, and it's a home of around 121 language, and it's also the home of world oldest language, Sanskrit. India is popular for its fair and festivals. We having a fair like Pushkar Fair, Mahakumbh Fair, Surajkund Fair, Tarnitar Fair, Ran Utsav. And whether we enjoy festival like Holi, Diwali, Onam, Pongal, Makar Sankranti, Durga Puja, Ganesh Chaturthi, Rath Yatra, Buddha Purnima, etc. India is a remarkable tourist destination that offer a memorable experience to travelers. Like we having a palace like Taj Mahal. Taj Mahal, one of the seven wonder of the world, and we can be in. You can feel Indian royalty in the various forts and palaces across the country. So there are a lot of the hill forts available in Rajasthan and Gwalior. Whether there are a lot of the forts in are located in Delhi, which shows the history of ancient India. So wildlife is another kind of attraction which excite a lot of people of the world. There are a lot of the national park and wildlife sanctuaries has been made. So which is the witness of a lot of species, a lot of flora and fauna. Like we having different kinds of bird species, animal species, in which a Bengal tiger is one of the famous species of tigers. River Ganga Ghats have been a source of inspiration for the artists, filmmaker, photographer, writers, and musicians for the century. It is believed that River Ganga Ghats are much prosperous in bathing. Bathing this site will purify the person. So other than river Ganga, we having a lot of rivers and lakes. So by which India serve one of the best tourism destination of the world. So let's discuss about architecture and monuments. So first, architecture and monuments of India is Rani Ki Vav, which is also known as Queen's Stepwell, located in Patan, Gujarat. The Stepwell is located on the banks of Saraswati River in the Patan, Gujarat. It was constructed by Udaymati, the queen and spouse of 11th century Chalukya king Bhima I. It has been listed as one of the UNESCO World Heritage Site since 2014. The finest creation and one of the largest examples of its own kind. Actually, the stepwell is designed as inverted, highlighting the sanctity of water. The stepwell is divided into seven levels of stair with sculpture panel, more than 500 principal sculptures and over 1,000 minor ones combined with religious, mythological, and secular imaginary. The sculpture is stepwell depicts numerous Hindu deities, including Brahma, Vishnu, Shiva, goddess Ganesh, Kubera, Haigriva, and also 24 incarnations of Lord Vishnu. Ajanta caves are approximately 30 rock-cut Buddhist cave monuments dating from 2nd BCE to about 480 CE, located in Aurangabad district of Maharashtra state in India. The caves include painting and rock-cut sculptures described as the among its finest creation of surviving example of ancient India. The Ajanta caves has been built in two phases. The first phase was started from 2nd century BCE and second occurring from 400 to 600 AD. The first phase, this was the Ajanta caves were manufactured by Satvahan dynasty of kings. Whether in second phase, Vaktaka and Gupta dynasty has created the cave. Ellora cave, Aurangabad, Maharashtra. It is one of the largest rock-cut Hindu temple cave complexes in the world, with an artwork dating from period 600 to 1000 AD. Cave have around more than 34, and there are around 34 caves are there. So which consists of different kind of sculptures, architectures, which related to Hindu, Buddhism, and Jainism. The Kailash temple is one of the popular temple in the cave, in the Ellora cave. So, which describe the various sculptures of various deities. It is believed that these caves has been made during the period of Rashtrakuta dynasty, which construct the part of Hindu and Buddhist cave, and Yadava dynasty, which construct a number of Jain caves. Iron Piral, Mehrauli, Delhi. It's a kind of structure. So the height of this structure is 23 feet and 8 inches, and with a 41 centimeter or so 16 inches in diameter. That was constructed by one of the greatest Gupta emperor Chandragupta II, also known as Chandragupta Vikramaditya, during the region 375 to 415 AD. of Gupta dynasty. So it is famous for its rust resistance composition of metal used in the construction. The pillar having a weight of more than 6 tons. Chittorgarh Fort, also known as Chittorgarh or Chittor, is one of the largest fort of India. It is a UNESCO World Heritage Site. The fort was the capital of Mewar and is located in the present day in the town of Chittorgarh. The fort was 590.6 feet in height and spread over the area of 691.9 acres. The fort having around 65 around 65 historic structure which include four palaces, 19 large temples, 20 large water bodies, four memorials, and few victory towers. It is believed the Guhila ruler Bappa Rawal get this fort in 728 AD. Later in 1303, Delhi ruler Alauddin Khilji attacked to Maharaja Ratan Singh, who was the owner of this fort at that time. After his defeat from the Alauddin Khilji, the queen, along with all females of the kingdom, so committed Johar. Johar means they sacrificed their life in the fire. The fort was later captured by Hamir Singh, who was Amir Singh, and expanded by his descendants like Rana Kumbha and Rana Sangha, and in which Rana Sangha ruled all over most of the portion of Rajasthan and Uttar Pradesh. So till until he lost the war from Turco-Mongol descendant Babur, who led the rule of Mughal dynasty in India. After that, there are a lot of was civil war against Mughal ruler and Rana Sanga descendants. Like one of the descendant is more popular known as Maharana Pratap. In 1616, a treaty has been signed by Mughal and Mewar. A peace treaty has been signed between Mughal kingdom and Mewar. The Mirabai, the great devotee of Lord Krishna, belong from this fort only. Agra Fort is one of the historical fort in the city of Agra. It was built and main residence of rulers or Sikarwar clan of Chauhan Rajputs. Soon after Agra captured by Sikandar Lodi and he make his capital Agra during the period for 1487 to 1517. Then after Sikandar Lodi, the when Mughal emperor first Mughal Emperor Babur won the war in Panipat in 1526. The fort was captured by Babur, and then Humayun, then Akbar, then a rule of Mughal dynasty has been started in Agra until the Mughal Emperor Shah Jahan in 1638 shifted his capital from Agra to Delhi. The fort was under Jat rulers of Bharatpur for 13 years when the Mughal dynasty has been dislined. So after it's known as after it get from Marathas and after it's got by Marathas and then Britishers. Lohgarh Fort is situated in Bharatpur, Rajasthan. It was constructed by Bharatpur Jat rulers. Maharaja Surajmal, who ruled 1755 to 1763 AD, built numerous of the fort, but this was the strongest fort in Indian history. This is inaccessible. Lohgarh Fort is inaccessible for either Mughals. There are a lot of rule like Mughals, Afghans, and also British rulers also attacked in this fort, but it is worthless. So it is so we can say Lohgarh Fort as a undefeated fort. The Lohgarh Fort consists of the Kishori Mahal, Jawahar Burj, Fateh Burj, and Moti Mahal. Red Fort, Delhi. Red Fort is perfect example of Indo-Mughal architecture in India. Emperor Shah Jahan constructed this fort in 1638, but it was completed in 1648. After Shah Jahan, his successor Aurangzeb added Moti Masjid, a kind of private mosque within the premises of the fort. But after the dislining of Mughal Empire in 1739, Persian Emperor Nader Shah defeated the strong Mughal army and captured the fort, and he looted a lot of things and including peacock throne. So Nader Shah returned to Persia after 3 months, and after destroying the fort, after 3 months of destroying the fort. Then then after that, in 1752, Mughal Emperor Muhammad Shah made a treaty with Marathas. That time Marathas was the rulers of India, to protect this fort. And in 1761, Ahmad Shah Abdali, also known as Ahmad Shah Durrani, attacked in the fort, who was the Afghan, attacked in this fort, and and looted a lot of things. So he defeated the Marathas. He defeated the Marathas, and also in third battle of Panipat. Then after that point of time, in 1764, the Jat ruler of Bharatpur, Maharaja Jawahar Singh, the son of Maharaja Surajmal, who attacked Delhi and captured the Red Fort from Afghans and Rohillas, who attacked in the fort. Then after is what get the fort get by Marathas till the Anglo-Maratha War, which happened in 1807 ADs, Anglo-Maratha, which happened in 1803 ADs. And then after that, Britishers occupy the Red Fort. In 1911, saw the visit of King George V and Queen Mary in for the occasion of Delhi Darbar. The Britishers reconstruct the fort and restore the building of the Red Fort. And after the independence on 15 August 1947, the first Prime Minister of India, Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru, inaugurated Indian flag above the above the fort. And after this continue till now, and will continue in future as well. So that's why the Red Fort is also a symbol of pride of India. Rastrapati Bhavan, which was formerly known as Viceroy House. The Rastrapati Bhavan was constructed because of the started from Delhi Darbar. When King George and Queen Mary visited in Delhi Darbar, the current that viceroy of that era, the started a proposal to transfer their capital from Calcutta to Delhi. So they they want to construct the Viceroy House. Then when proposal has been passed, so about 4,000 acres of land was acquired to begin the construction of Viceroy House, as it is originally called. So that's why the government had taken locate the Resina and Malcha villages to construct the Viceroy House. After independence, the Viceroy House, having the British perfect example of Indo-British architecture, because the dome of Viceroy House belongs from the Buddhist stupa, and rest of the building is a perfect example of British architecture in India. After independence, it was renamed as Government House until the first president of India in 26 January 1950. 1950, when Dr. Rajendra Prasad became the first president of India, occupied the building. This was known as Viceroy. It was known as Rastrapati Bhavan. And before that, there was a Darbar Hall, which located inside the dome, which having a capacity of 500 people. There was a provision of two seats. One belonged from Viceroy and one belonged from Viceroy. So after independence, this is only for President of India, for Rastrapati only. Khajuraho group of temples, Khajuraho, Madhya Pradesh. Khajuraho groups are perfect example of Hindu and Jain temple and perfect architectures of India. It's famous for its sculpture. It's sculpture showing the normal way of life of ancient India. The sculpture having there are a lot of the sculpture belong from normal people, and some of the sculpture belong from our deities as well, Hindu deities as well. It is believed that this temple was made between around during the time of Gupta dynasty of kings. But it was reconstructed by Hindu kings Yashovarman and Dhanga. Yashovarman legacy is best exhibited by the Lakshmana Temple, which one of the best temple of example of architecture. Vishwanath Temple was highlighted in the during the time of King Dhanga King. The largest and currently most famous surviving temple in Kendri Mahadev, built in the region of King Vidyadhara. The temple inscription suggests that many of currently surviving temple was completed between 970 to 1030 AD. The first documented mention of Khajuraho temple was made by 641 AD by Huensang, a Chinese pilgrim and scholars who describe the Khajuraho temples in their own words. Bodh Gaya, one of the religious sites associated with Mahabodhi temple complex located in Gaya district of Bihar. So it is a place. It is believed that under the Bodhi tree, the Lord Buddha get enlightenment. So it is a so that's why so it's a with various it is a one of the form of Hindu and Buddhist pilgrimage of India. So in after during the time of the ruler Ashoka, he built a temple. He built a temple, a Mahabodhi temple, uh, behind the Bodhi tree. So here you are looking a Mahabodhi temple behind the tree. So this is known as Mahabodhi temple. So also it is also believed that Ashoka takes the stream takes the stream from Mahabodhi tree and send it to Sri Lanka along with his son Mahendra and daughter Sangmitra, and they drove the tree. So one tree was also in Sri Lanka. So it is believed that there are a lot of people have tried to cut the tree, but it automatically, well, if one tree was damaged, then automatically another tree start, starts on. Later during the time of Vedic India, during the period of 500 around 500 AD, so Gupta dynasty of emperors will reconstruct the Mahabodhi temple later during that phase of time, and this temple which we found is made by Gupta emperors. So this is one of the UNESCO World Heritage Site of India. Sanchi Stupa, Sanchi, Madhya Pradesh. Sanchi is the one of the one of the finest Buddhist stupa complex. So located in the Sanchi town in Resin district, state of Madhya Pradesh. It is located 23 kilometer from Resin district headquarter from and 46 kilometer from northeast of Bhopal in Madhya Pradesh. The Great Stupa Sanchi is one of the oldest oldest stone structure made in India. So there is important architecture and monument of India. It originally commissioned by Mauryan Emperor Ashoka the Great in 3rd century BCE. So it's hemispherical brick structure, but later the most of the Gupta emperors constructed it from rock, as it is believed that this was constructed by Ashoka Ashoka for her wife Devi. The Sachi stupa during Mauryan period was made of bricks. So continuing with the Gupta Emperor period 500 century. So though they construct with the rock. So later it was there. Later the stupa was affected by the attacks of Turkish rulers in India. Sarnath, Varanasi. Sarnath is a place located 10 kilometers and northeast of Varanasi, near the confluence of the Ganga and Varuna river in Uttar Pradesh. Sarnath is one of the popular Buddhist places where Buddha taught about noble truth. So this is the place where dharma and sangha came in existence. So after the enlightenment of Kaundinya Buddha, it is believed that this place is as much holy. This is the holy place of Buddhism, because it is believed they are and this is only place where deers can move. It is the place where deers can move and so here deer can move unmolested. It is as per the Buddhist sculptures. It is believed that the king of Benares gifted to Buddha. So here the name derived from are the due to their deer can walk or run unmolested. So Sarnath Also, Sarnath is also a popular for as Buddha gave his first sermon in Sarnath, Varanasi. Kedarnath Temple. This is one of the finest creation located in the Garhwal Himalaya region nearby the Mandakini River of Uttarakhand. Due to extreme weather condition, the temple is open for general public general public between April to November. The temple height is 3,583 meters from Rishikesh. So it is nobody can actually find out the actual origin of Kedarnath temple and when. It is unbelievable. Some people also said that this the temple Shivlinga was constructed by Pandavas around 7,000 BC. But later it was reestablished by Adi Shankaracharya in ninth century AD. As per this temple is the highest among 12 Jyotirlinga of Lord Shiva. The temple was affected during 2013 flash floods in North India. But there are things the outside the temples or temple surrounding areas were damaged, but there are not any damage in the temple. The temple was protected. Hampi group of monuments, Vijayanagara, Karnataka, is a UNESCO World Heritage Site in Hampi town, Vijayanagara district. Hampi was the capital of Vijayanagara Empire in 14th century BCE. By 1500 AD, Hampi Vijayanagara was the world's second largest medieval era city after Beijing. The probably India's richest at that time, attracting traders from Persia, Portugal, and it located in Karnataka, near the modern era city of Hosapet. It is also described by the UNESCO. It also described by the UNESCO a grand austere and grandiose site of more than 1600 surviving remains of the last great Hindu kingdom in South India that include forts, riverside features, royal and sacred complexes, temples, shrines, pillared halls, mandapas, memorial structures, water structures, and other. It is believed that this is Hampi is a kind of a pilgrimage. That it is believed that the there was a place known as Pampak Kshetra. Its fame come from Kishkinda chapters of Hindu epic Ramayana, where Rama and Lakshmana meet Hanuman and Sugriv, and the monkeys army in search of Sita. The Hampi area has most closely resembles to the place described in the epic. The regional tradition believes that it is the place mentioned in the Ramayana, attracting a lot of pilgrims. It was brought to the light by British engineer named Colonel Mackenzie during 1800. It is also seen that Emperor Ashoka's rock cut edicts in Nittur also found in Hampi. So during the time of the Ashok, this means the Ashoka ruled in that area. So a lot of Brahmi inscriptions was found there, which are related to Ashoka's time period. By 10th century, it has been become center of religious and educational activities during the rule of Hindu king Kalyan Chalukyas. So whose inscription state that kings made the grants to the Virupaksha temple. Several inscriptions from 11th to 13th centuries are about the Hampi site with a mention of gifts of goddess Hampa Devi. Between 12th and 14th century, Hindus, kings of Hoysala Empire of South India built temple of Durga, Hampa Devi, and Shiva. The armies of Delhi Sultanate, particularly those of Alauddin Khilji and Muhammad bin Tughlaq, invented and pillaged South India. The Hoysala Empire and its capital Dwara Samudra in southern Karnataka was plundered and destroyed in early 14th century by armies of Alauddin Khilji and again in 1326 AD by army of Muhammad bin Tughlaq. The Vijayanagara Empire was defeated by coalition of Turco-Mongol Sultanate. Its capital was conquered, pillaged and destroyed by Sultanate army in 1565 AD. After army remained in ruins. Dilwara Jain Temple. Dilwara Jain temples are one of the one of the most popular architectures of India. There are a lot of Jain temples available in India, but Dilwara Jain temple is one of the best architecture and monument of India. The Dilwar temple are located in Mount Abu in Sirohi district, Rajasthan, which is the only hill station of Rajasthan. The earliest they were built by Bhima Shah, and supposedly designed and financed by Vastufala, Jain minister of Dolkha. They date between 11th and 16th century AD. So they are most famous monuments in the style of Maru Gujaru architecture, famous for their use of very pure white marble in intricate marble carving. They are managed by Seth Sri Kalyanji Anandji Pedi Sirohi, and are pilgrimage place for Jains. So there are a lot of the most famous temple in Dilwara Jain temple is Vimalvasi, which is much earliest, constructed by 1031 AD, with Lunavasi 1230 AD, and others interval between 459 to 1582 AD. So the various five temples are as follows: Vimalvasi, Lunavasi, Pitalhar, Parsharnath, and Mahavir Swami. Konark Sun Temple. So this is the one of the best example of Kalinga style architecture of India. This built in 13th century AD, around the in nearby the year 1250. The Sun Temple at Konark, about 35 kilometers northeast from Puri city in the Puri district, Odisha. The temple is attributed to King Narsimhadev I of the Eastern Ganga dynasty around 1250 AD, dedicated to the Hindu god Surya, or the sun god. The temple complex has appearance of 100-foot high chariot with immense wheels and horses, all carved from stones. Over 200 feet of height, most of the parts of temple is now ruins. In particular, the large Shikhara tower over the sanctuary at one time, this rose much higher than Mandapa that remains the same. The structures and elements that have survived are famed for their intricate artwork, iconography, and themes. The temple that exists today are particularly restored by the conservation effort of British India era archaeological teams, declared as UNESCO World Heritage Site in 1984. The Sun Temple, Modhera, is Hindu temple dedicated to the deity Sun Surya, located at Modhera village of Mehsana district, Gujarat. It is situated on the bank of river Pushpavati. It was built after 1026-27 AD during the region of Bhima I of the Chalukya dynasty king. During 1024-1025 AD, the attack of Mahmud Ghaznavi, Mahmud Ghaznavi, there was the lot of the damage has been happened. Then after it is believed that it was reconstructed by the descendants of the Bhima one. The dancing hall was added later along with the gateways, the porch of the temple proper, and the door frames of the temples and the sila during the region of Karna, the king of Chalukya dynasty. So right now, no worship is offered now because it's a protected monument maintained by Archaeological Survey of India. The temple complex have three components. First, Gudha Mandapa, the shrine hall; Sabha Mandapa, the assembly hall; and Kunda, the reservoir. The halls have intricately carved exterior and pillars. The reservoir has steps to reach the bottom and numerous small shrines. Golden Temple, Amritsar, Punjab. Golden Temple, also known as Darbar Sahab or Harmandir Sahab, is known as Swarn Mandir, is a kind of Gurudwara located in Amritsar, Punjab. It is the spiritual site for Sikhism. The fourth Sikh Guru Ramdas made the pool on the site in the temple when the temple was completed by the fourth Sikh Guru Ramdas in 1577. Later in 1604, Guru Arjan placed a copy of Adi Granth in Harmandir Sahib. the Gurudwara was repeatedly rebuilt by Sikh after it became targeted of persecution and was destroyed several times by the Mughals, Jahangir, Aurangzeb, and invading Afghans army in the leadership of Ahmad Shah Abdali. Then later Maharaja Ranjit Singh. Maharaja Ranjit Singh, after founding Sikh Empire, rebuilt it with marble and copper in 1809 AD and overlaid the sanction with gold leaf in 1830. This led to the name of Golden Temple. The management and operation of Darbar Sahab, a term refers to entire Golden Temple complex of building was taken over by Maharaja Ranjit Singh. He also appointed the staff for to protect and to protect and provide services to the Golden Temple. The temple is described by the Yan Kher and other scholars as a mixture of Indo-Islamic, Mughal, and Hindu architecture. The temple, the sanction is 12.25 into 12.25 meter square with 2 stories and gold leaf dome. This sanction has a marble platform that is 19 into 7 into 19 into 7 meter square. It sits inside an almost square. A pool called Amrit Sarovar. Amrit Sarovar is a kind of nectar or is a kind of pool. It is believed that people who usually take a dip in Amrit Sarovar or take the water or drink the water of Amrit Sarovar, they get relief from their all pain. It purifies the soul. There are a lot of people who take the pool water for their sick for the sick as well. For those who wish to take a dip in the pool, the temple provide half hexagonal shelter and holy steps to Har Ki Pauri. Bathing in the pool is believed by many Sikhs to have restorative power, purifying one karmas. Some carry bottles of the pool water home, particularly for Sikhs, friends, and relatives. The pool is maintained by volunteers who perform Kar Seva, community service by draining and distilling it periodically. Thank you so much. So that's all for now. So there are still a lot of architectures, a lot of monuments, a lot of shrines are available in India. So we can say tourism as a world activity. So in India is popular for its heritage sites, is rich in heritage. Uh, its culture, architectures, monuments. There are numerous monuments which we could not discuss here. So it is believed we will discuss this later. And there are a lot of things which we find in India regard in respect of tourism. So thank you so much for joining and watching the webinar. Thank you so much.